Hey guys, welcome back to Lab Time episode 3. Today we're going to be going over how to make loops, samples for your sample packs with SRX Orchestra. It's a super fire plugin by the Rolling Cloud. It's been in some pretty big hits, I'm pretty sure, for some songs, and it's relatively inexpensive. It runs you like $70, but compared to Keyscape, Omnisphere, like Electra X, a lot of the bigger plugins that people normally typically run, it's got some really good, really valuable, I guess, like bang for your buck type sounds in it. Anything that you would hear in an orchestra. One thing that you have to be aware of is you got to sign up for the Rolling Cloud. I'm pretty sure it charges you per month to use their sounds, but really worth it, let me tell you. And we're gonna be we're making two loops in this video. I'm gonna try to keep it very informational, a lot of commentary in it, and yeah, so I'll see you in the video. Okay, so here we are in FL Studio, and I have SRX Orchestra pulled up right here, and I have a patch, the staccato section strings. It's in PRA, the second one, all the way down to 54, and we're gonna try to come up with a quick melody for it. Maybe something dark, I don't know. We'll see what direction it goes in when we get to it. I always make my loops 8 bars, and then I try to change it up in the second set of 4. Alt R to randomize the velocities. And then I'm going to add some layers, octaves to this cello. So bring these up. It's control, highlight, and go left to select them all, and then shift and drag to duplicate them. Let's bring this up to 140. Bring a piano in from Keyscape. Already got the bass notes there. And then if we drag and bring these up to the white highlighted lines, then that'll be in key, the minor key. Same thing with this, every 2, and then to do that right there, you'd hold control and shift, and then you can select multiple things without having to do that at the same time. And then a way to, if you want to strum these, Alt S, that'll give you more real feel to it. With this time thing, you can do it by, if you hit preserve end, if I bring that all the way, preserve end, and then it won't go past it, it won't bleed into the next chord. And then since we're doing this video on SRX Orchestra, I'm going to bring in another instrument from SRX Orchestra. Normally I wouldn't do this many of one plugin, but for the sake of the video. So now I'm gonna try to explain this the best that I can for y'all. Um, level your sounds in your channel right before they go to your mixer. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna solo the first one, right? You see how it's going to negative 18 decibels. I'm gonna turn that up. Now you really want to do this by ear because this is an annoying sound. So I'm not gonna go all the way to negative 12 because it's really high pitched. It's gonna be bleeding through your melody. But you'll have other like this cello right here. I might go to like negative 15 instead of negative 18. We're gonna turn this down. Normally have my pianos a little louder, so we're gonna keep it at negative 12. And then that's honestly fine. Now you hear what they sound like all together. And what that's allowing you to do is you'll be able to pick which sounds you want to level off in your mixer because they're coming in at the cleanest. They're coming in at the cleanest point to your mixer, and then it's easier for your mixer to do less work. And now we're going to see what other effects we can put on here. I might put a halftime on this piano and pitch it up an octave. So I like that. This is really rough, so what I'm going to do with it, put some reverb on it. Turn the wetness up and the size up. This cello is really low. We're going to bump it up. And then the cello is also pretty narrow. And we could go in here and take these top notes and then pan them, control pan, and have them going all to like this side or there. And then like do the other one for the lower end. What I'm gonna do is this is a really fire plug-in stereo imager, S1 stereo imager. So you see, this is narrow, widens it. So now it's super wide, probably a little too dramatic. But we're gonna keep it like that. And I'm not sure I like this sound, so the way I like to break it down is by frequencies. This is taking up a high end. This is taking up a mid to low. This is also taking up a mid to low, so I might pan one to one side, pan the other to the other side. I like to keep my main pianos, the loudest instrument, in the middle though. And then I need to find a good middle ground for this. Put a love filter on that choir. And then I'm gonna put RC20 on the main piano melody before it bugs out on me. A lot of people say, RC20 is only good if you use it right. You're bugging if you use it wrong. But honestly, just pick a fire preset. I mean, they have great presets. It's a really good plugin. It's been out for a long time. You can turn some of it down. I mean, I wouldn't go crazy with all this stuff, but I like vinyl 1. I mean, it puts you straight on it. I'm gonna turn this stuff down though. Much better than isotope vinyl, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. So that's what I'm gonna do for the melody. Now, there's a trick. Don't do that. There's a trick I'm gonna show you. We're gonna split by channel. And then I think you can do this for all of them at the same time. Quick render as audio clip. Okay, so now we finally got that done. It's all into the playlist. I'm gonna assign these to new mixer tracks. I know you can do that by hitting the button. It's a habit. And then I like to have all of them play in the beginning. Sometimes I'll add bass notes. So the producer that I send the loop to, not for them to use the bass, but for them to know where the notes are, so they can make their own like 808 pattern off of it. But then some producers feel like they have to use the bass that you put in, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But here we can space these out. Space these out is very important because you don't want to. I mean, you can send stems, individual stem files, but I wouldn't, because I feel like that's just taking up more space on a hard drive. Think about it. So you stem it out at the end, and then it's in one WAV file. So you're not doing 4 different WAV files. So you have them all in here. You got your first, second, third, fourth, and then you're gonna go to your master. And I'm not sure if this is entirely true, so don't quote me on it, but when you render something out, it's got all these little things. So really do this with your VSTs. But to make it not even worse, we're going to drag this all the way to the bottom, drag this over, and then type in 80, because that's where it starts at. And then the audio will automatically start at the beginning. And then, yeah, so this is this loop. Okay, so this time we're back in FL with another SRX Orchestra patch, and we're going to go for a completely different feel this time. So got this started. Alright, so I found a fire sound, and I've made this melody. I'm really not liking these bass notes right now, so. So this is a lot more upbeat. See how these pianos are. See how fire they are. If you want to drag all the velocities down, drag them, and control drag to the left, and then control alt at the same time, mouse wheel up and down. So that's how you do that. And another thing, I'm gonna keep this loop simple. You don't have to put. I mean, I know I talk about filling the EQ spectrum, but you don't have to make all of your loops full, because then the artist isn't gonna know where to fit in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unless you tuck them all in the background. You wanna keep them simple, and even I struggle with keeping my beats simple. But that's just one thing that you're gonna have to adapt to. So I'm gonna probably gonna EQ these, and do the same thing I did to the last one, and I'll be back. And there's other reverbs out there that you can get, like Valhalla Vintage Verb. Or Valhalla has a couple of really good reverbs. And but you don't always have to use the stock effects. But if you're not trying to drop a bag on like all like 1,000 effects, like effect plugins, then don't drop a bag on it, because it's not necessary. There is stuff that you can work with, especially as you're learning. As you start out, you always want to start out with the bare minimum, because if you give in everything at the beginning of something, you're never going to work for it, because you're always going to get deterred. Like, you're always going to get stressed out because you have all this good stuff and you're not making, at the very minimum, having bad plugins at the beginning gives you an excuse for your beats to be bad when you start off. Then when you start getting, like, actually having good melodies, you start putting good drums on there, you find out what drum kits you like, then you're like, wow, my beats actually could be a lot better with these, high-end plugins. Because I'm not going to sit here and say that the reason that your beats aren't good is because you don't have good plugins. That's probably what it is. Or good VSTs. Same goes for VSTs, and like, as long as you learn on the basics, then you should be fine once you get to the actual like high-end stuff. But you don't need it when you start out. It's actually better to have it, or to not have it when you first start out. So again, right click on it, type in value 80. 80 is the default value. And then we're going to play the song. I'm going to play it out. And that is loop number 2. And if you have any effects on them, if you're rendering your audio out just with the VSTs, you have any effects on any reverbs, they're going to bleed. That's why you separate them. If you stop the audio, it's gonna stop right there. And then once you go, you go to export wave file, and then you want to go to wherever you're putting your samples at. Then put like Lucy 150, and then you put like the BPM. This is, a lot of people don't show this when they're doing their stuff, but like, just simple like that. That's how I would name a beat when I save it. And then save it, and then you don't need a split mixture track. You can cut remainder. Everything looks great. Boom. Now you got 2 samples in. I don't know how long I've been recording. Probably way too long. But you've got 2 samples in like 30-40 minutes. Now you have like I spent 12 minutes on this. I mean, it's only 3, but if you and these are rushed for the sake of the video. But if I'm sitting down and I make a pack, now I can send it back to other producers. Now I can make relationships with other producers and even engineers. Send them to engineers. Engineers are always in studio sessions, because 9 times out of 10 an artist cannot be their own engineer. They don't know how to record themselves. Unless you're like Bryson Tiller, you're not sitting in the studio, hitting the space bar, recording your own vocals. Some people are down with that, but a lot of people aren't, you know what I'm saying? send beats to engineers. That, I mean, they're always in the studio with the artist. But anyways, oh, I've been recording for 30 minutes. Wow. Anyways, thank you for coming out to Lab Time episode 3. I hope you really enjoyed this one because I had fun as always. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the little bell for post notifications, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.